So you're considering moving to Peterborough, but you have absolutely no idea what you're getting into. You're trying to do all your research before you actually get here. Today, we're going to be talking about negative reasons why you may not actually want to move to Peterborough. Some of the topics we're going to be discussing are internet, weather, proximity, walk-in clinics, housing prices, crime rate. Is Peterborough archaic? And well, let's get into it. First off, I really want to talk about internet. This may be a huge factor for some people. So if you are in the downtown core, you're working in the city, I would say, it's great. You have fast internet, upload speed, great, no issues. When you're getting a little bit outside of Peterborough, if you're moving to a small town about 12 minutes from Peterborough called Millbrook, the only internet provider you can get is actually their local one called Nexacom, and it's, well, honestly, shit. If you're where we are, again, only 8 minutes from the city, in a small little community called Stewart Hall, which I love. However, the internet is also garbage. So that's one thing I would highly recommend before purchasing a home or moving to the city. Look into the upload speed, what provider you can actually get, because it may not actually be that great. Right now, we are downtown in the core, in the hub of Peterborough. I'm testing Wi-Fi at my husband's studio. He's on 5. Amazing. The roads in Peterborough, also terrible. I feel like I should send the city my bill for suspension because on Lansdowne, which is the main road in Peterborough, there are potholes galore. And I'm sure anyone can attest to that who is local in Peterborough. If you're watching this video, you live in Peterborough, comment below, you know what I'm talking about. It's terrible, absolutely terrible. Not sure where our property taxes or money go, but they just never seem to get fixed. And this is what I mean by the potholes in Peterborough. Proximity. And by that, I mean, you need to keep in mind, you think, great, I'm only an hour and 25 minutes from the city, the downtown core. Cool, great, you are. Are you going to be taking the 407 every single time? Because then you also need to account for your 407 bill. Is your business or place of work going to be paying for that? That's something you might want to put into the contract because it does get quite expensive. For my husband, it's actually a bit of an issue because he flies and needs to go to Pearson a lot. We actually are, well, he's about an hour and 20 minutes to the airport there and back. So that's just something you need to keep in mind. I know it sounds like common sense, but until you actually get here and you start doing it and you value your time, it may actually be a big concern for you. Weather. I know, sounds crazy. The weather. Just call me the weather lady. So the reason I say this is because Peterborough is up a lot higher. And if you haven't experienced this, all you have to do is take the 115 all the way down to Bowmanville and you actually will feel your ears pop. With us being up higher comes a lot more snow. I feel like living in Peterborough, it is completely different than Durham region. So keep that in mind, have your snowblower close, have your shovels ready, because if you need to travel in the morning, you get up early, you're probably going to be shoveling your driveway. Is it a big negative? Not for everyone, but you just want to prepare yourself, possibly have a snow blowing business lined up that come and do your driveway that you may have not actually thought of living down in Toronto or closer to Durham region. An archaic, or in another term, Dinosaur City. So what do I mean by this? Do you remember back in like the 2000s or late 90s when people had Sundays off or sometimes shops were closed on Mondays? Well, in Peterborough, it's sometimes still a thing. You might be going out and you want to go somewhere on a Sunday and you drive up and you're all ready and it's not open because it's Sunday. It's family time. So, I mean, I love it because it's super cute. People are back with their families, but it's still an old school vibe. Peterborough and Kawartha Lakes used to be actually a retirement community. So now it's on the upward trend because younger families are moving in from the city, and it's changing a little bit, but there is still that small town vibe. Their pharmacy, there's a sign on the door that literally says the closest 24-hour pharmacy is in Oshawa. So see this right here? Nearest one, 24-hour, Oshawa. If this is the first time to my channel, I'm Carrie Brockhurst. I talk about all things Peterborough has to offer and the surrounding area. If you're moving to Peterborough, around Peterborough, or just need information, I get texts, calls, emails from people just like you watching this. Reach out, I'm your girl. Walk-in clinics. If you're someone that needs to go to the doctors a lot, you need to find yourself a doctor because they're also very hard to come by in Peterborough, but I think that is anywhere. You are going to be quicker to actually drive to Bowmanville to go to the walk-in clinic. What they recommend here is if there is no walk-in clinics, you go to Emerge. Well, once you go to Emerge, you're now waiting forever because there's no walk-in clinics. I just called up the pharmacy the other day and it said, if you're looking for a walk-in appointment, you can book one at certain pharmacies. So I think it is getting better. They are changing it slowly. However, as of right now, today, when I post this video, they're still not that great. Last, but very not least, the crime rate. So the crime rate in Peterborough is on an upward trend. Now, I talked about this previously in another video. In the downtown core, it's open. Drug use is open. Lock your cars. I wouldn't leave it open. With drugs comes crime. That's the main issue here, point blank. It's a smaller community, so I think it's more open and visible, whereas if you go downtown Toronto, it's still there. You just can't see it because it's a larger community, right? It's a larger city. Here, it's a quarter of the population, so it's gonna be more visible. Clearly, it didn't deter me and my family from moving here. Would I recommend you bringing your family to the downtown core? No. However, what's more important is the price of homes, because if you look online, realtor.ca, all the ones that are downtown are between your 300 to 400,000, and they are sometimes beautiful homes, fully redone. If that's what you're looking for, that's great, go for it. However, lock your cars. Although I would say lock your cars anywhere you live because you can always get broken into or robbed or something like that. Would I walk downtown at night? Absolutely. I go out with my friends. We go downtown. Hunter Street is amazing. Would I live downtown? No. So with all that being said, you have to remember there's always going to be positives and there's always going to be negatives to any city you live in. For myself, it's not that bad because I'm still here and I love it. My daughter and kids go to a great school. That's for another video talking about the amazing schools here. But the positives definitely outweigh the negatives. However, I just like to give the information so that you're prepared when you actually get here. You know, if you have any questions, I'm your girl. Reach out. I'm happy to help. See you next time. Ciao.